All right, now let's look at triangle properties as a review. So there are four types of triangles before we moving on to Euclidean geometry. First one, the sum of the angles of all triangles is 180. So this angle right here plus that angle, 180. And then each within the triangles we have three types. We have a scalene, that means the sides are all different, the angles are all different. We have isosceles, that means that two sides are equal to each other, and also the angle opposite to each equal sides are equal to each other, and that's what this and that is. And the next one is the equilateral. All three sides are equal to each other and all three angles are equal to each other, and since they're all equal to each other, it makes sense that each one of them is 60 degrees. That means they add up to be 180 degrees. And the last special case is a right triangle. Right angle triangle, they follow the Pythagorean theorem, or the properties of Pythagoras, which is right here, that a squared plus b squared equal to c squared, and that's the relationship between the sides and the hypotenuse of that triangle. And the hypotenuse is the side that is opposite of the 90 degree angle, and it is the longest side in a right angle triangle. All right, so that's the first part. Next is circle properties. Radius of a circle, which is very straightforward, everybody knows, and that's the radius. We have the diameter, which is 2 times the radius, and then we have this angle that is formed between the two radii, which we call this the central angle, and then we're going to talk about that as well, and that's called the central angle, and that's for the circle. Then we are talking about quadrilateral properties, and these quadrilateral properties, I'm not going to read the whole thing. You can pause the video and go through each one of these on your own, but notice that there are many of them. We got trapezoid, parallelogram, rectangle, and rhombus. And within that, there is this flow diagram that comes in any quadrilateral. It branches off to trapezoid, parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus, and each of these, they have their own specific properties within the geometry law shape. So trapezoid has this property, which is right here. That's one of the properties that it has. And because of the two sides of the opposite side of the trapezoid, they're parallel to each other. Now, a parallelogram has a different set of properties. Rectangle have a different set of properties as well. So make sure that you know, at least you have access to all of these properties of the quadrilateral, because as we go through proving questions, geometry questions, we will refer back to properties of the quadrilaterals and any of the stuff that we use. So between the last lesson that we talked about angles, then we talked about circles and triangles, and then quadrilateral, we have enough information, background information, to start looking at some of the questions and start solving some of the Euclidean geometry problems. All right, that's all it is. So next lesson will end up being some of the questions that we have to deal with the